Hey, congratulations on booking a call with my team. We're real excited to talk to you and find out more about your business and see if we can help you take it to the next level. Hey, make sure to watch this whole video prior to your call and make the call go much more smoothly. Plus, if you haven't yet watched the video and you jump on the call, they're going to make you reschedule anyway. So like I said, I know what you're thinking. How does this actually work? Well, that's the point of this video. In this video, we're going to talk to you about how we've helped over 617 capital raisers attract endless $100,000 investors who are eager to invest with them and give them their money, and how you can be our next success story. And I'll come out and just lead with it, right? Our secret is that we know how to create a capital raising system that generates qualified leads and converts them to investors. And we provide a network to avoid time-wasting roadblocks. That's our secret sauce. Now, probably what you're thinking right now, just given the climate, yes, it does work during a recession. We're going to talk about all that in just a second. So if you have been scrambling for capital for each deal with no predictability, if you've been struggling to raise capital outside of friends and family, if you're feeling like you're actually running out of steam, or worse yet, you're seeing better deals, but actually raising less and less money, you're in the right place, okay? So who is this for? Well, if you are a real estate entrepreneur, if you're a capital raiser, if you're a fund manager, if you're an investment advisor, if you're a venture capitalist or a business owner, and you know that you need more capital to actually grow, we are here to help you. Now, before we jump into the details of how we do all this, just a quick summary. For those that don't know, my name is Hunter Thompson. I founded a company called ASIM Capital, where we have raised tens of millions of dollars, about 83 million bucks. After raising tens of millions of dollars, I wrote a book about the topic, which took off like wildfire and motivated me to launch raisingcapital.com, which is where we have our coaching and mastermind business, which is also really taken off. And I don't mean just us internally, but the results we are getting for our clients is totally insane. I'll give you some examples in just a second. Just one of them right here. Does this actually work? Well, my man Logan said, Hunter is the Tim Ferriss of real estate investing. He puts in the work himself and then breaks it down in a way that anyone can understand. On our first raise since working with him, we doubled our attendees at our investor presentation and raised $1 million in 30 minutes. We just never seen results like that before. We're going to walk you through exactly step by step how he did it and how many of our clients have had success as well. So what we're going to cover, we're going to break it down. We're going to start with the $83 million framework, how you can install our investor attraction system into your business. That is our infrastructure for doing all of this, and you can have it in just a second. Then we're going to talk about not just relying on the infrastructure, but actually getting quality leads to that infrastructure, how to attract endless $100,000 investors who are eager to give you their money. Now, again, just having leads isn't enough. You have to be able to get them to send the money to your bank account. So in part number 3, we're going to talk about conversions, how to use the BTS method to raise millions of dollars without one-on-one lunches, meetings, or phone calls. First, we got to talk about the framework, right? How to install our investor attraction system into your business. Now, most of you watching this right now are using the sprinkler method, okay? And that's when you yourself think of yourself like this. You're the capital raiser. You're going to go out to an investor, maybe some random person you haven't talked to in a while, some rich uncle you have, and try to convince them to give you their hard-earned $25,000. And the problem is, while this probably got you to where you are today, you can't scale this. You can't do 10 times or 100 times what you're currently doing. This is not scalable. And this really matters, especially in today's climate, right? Regardless of what you think about the economy, your investors are seeing these things about banking crises and layoffs and the potential for recessions or a current recession. So you need even more touch points going forward. You need to touch them way more to get them to actually fund in today's climate. So what is this actually about? Well, the key to raising money in today's world is to know who you want to target so you can create an online presence specifically designed to create a personal connection with them. That is what this is all about. This will make them actually jump out of their seat, eager to invest with you, making it far easier to actually get them to fund. So how do we do this? This is called the AENC system. It's an acronym for Attract, Educate, Nurture, Close. Now, A, like I said, is for attract. Attract thousands of your dream clients, people who are specifically interested in doing business with you, to your platform. E is for educate. Create educational content specifically designed to expedite the enrichment of the relationship with you. Then N is for nurture. Create supplemental touch points to have high buy-in clients prior to an investment opportunity being available so that you can see. You can build up so much excitement that by the time you send out the next deal, commitments instantly start coming in without doing hundreds of due diligence phone calls. This is exactly how Logan raised $1 million in 30 minutes, and many of our clients have had similar results. Like, check this out. Jeremy, most efficient and easiest raise to date. I've been doing syndication since 2015. This person, overwhelming response, $10.7 million. Sia, $1.5 million in 5 days. Jeff, $1.2 million in 2 days. And I can give you many examples of this. Now, some of you watching this, you're probably thinking, does this work for 506B offerings, which require that you have a pre-existing relationship with investors before giving them a deal? The answer is yes, absolutely. Roughly 80% of our clients are using 506B offerings with the AENC system in their business right now. And we're going to show you how to apply this to your business so you can start getting similar results. Okay, that's the infrastructure, right? The AENC system is the online infrastructure. But just relying on that isn't going to get you results. You have to get leads to that infrastructure. So that's what we're going to talk about in part number 2, qualified leads, how to attract endless $100,000 investors who are eager to give you their money. Now, when it comes to this game, I have tried it all, right? I did everything in the world of organic traffic. I even tried buying Facebook ads, spent tens of thousands of dollars on ads, got very little results. I tried buying email lists. I have done it all. And I uncovered that none of this stuff is really what it's all about. So what is it all about? How can you attract qualified leads? Simple, but there's depth to this knowledge. I mean, it's easy to say, far more difficult to actually implement without guidance, which is why you booked a call with us, okay? So the key to attracting quality leads each week is to have them have an instant personal connection with you the moment they see something you've created, and then walk them through a programmatic customer journey designed to get their money. All right, what is the system for that? How do we do this? Number 1, identify your dream investors. These are people that you'd love to serve. Something about your background. Are you an adventurer? Do you like to fish? Are you a pilot? Are you a high-income doctor? Or did you used to be? Who are those dream investors? Step number 2, find out where they're congregating and listen to what they want. What are their pain points? What are their goals? What are they trying to stay away from? What are they trying to aspire to accomplish? Whoever can listen better will win in this game. Then number 3, create the perfect digital knowledge product. This is something like a podcast, a webinar, an ebook, a downloadable report, an Excel model, a due diligence checklist. Depending on what your clients are, they might want to have different things, okay? I don't know. We want to help you work through that so you can create the digital knowledge product for your perfect dream audience. Then step number 4 is tell them the one thing they need to do to get it, which is exchange their email address for your perfect digital knowledge product. This, my friends, is the key to getting leads into your AENC system. This is the key that allowed me to go from totally unemployable recent college graduate to speaking in front of some of the largest private equity conferences in the United States, many times in front of those people that couldn't hire me. And now they still can't hire me, but now it's because they can't afford me. Right? The only thing that changed was that I know how to get people that have never heard of me and get them to send over the $100,000 plus investment. All right. Now that's just the theory. Let me give you an example. All right. So one of our clients is Bryce. Okay. Here he is here with the amazing beard. He loves freedom. He loves to do outdoor adventure stuff. So his AENC system is all about those things. Financial freedom through recession resistant investments. He did some research and found out that his clients love freedom and they love passive cash flow. So he created his lead magnet is something called the Financial Freedom Matrix. But he doesn't just give it away. He asks them to input their full name and email address here. That's what gets them into his AENC system. And then he takes them through the rest of the process. Does this actually work? Well, he just raised $4 million since being a member. He's in the process of closing a $50 million mobile home park right now. And I can give you countless examples of clients that are doing things exactly like this in their business right now. So who does this work for? Well, it doesn't matter what niche you're in, because it's about how to get people that have never heard of you into your AENC system and get them to send the money. So if you're in multifamily, mobile home parks, fix and flips, retail, office, buying existing businesses, we have one of our clients that's all they do. They're not even in real estate. If you're in nonprofits, and if you're in venture capital, what about crypto funds, hedge funds? It works for all of this. We have a client that only uses this for nightclubs. So if it's anything on this screen or anything that requires more capital, this will work for you. Now, in your mind, as I'm going through this, some of you are probably thinking, wait a minute, I don't know who my dream client is, or I'm not tech savvy, or I don't have a good lead magnet. Don't forget, this is why you booked this call, because we want to help you, right? So a note to all those limiting beliefs. You have no power here. Why? Because we are here to help. We have done this for many clients, hundreds of clients that are having success, and their backgrounds are just like you. We can help you get to the next level. Is this starting to open your eyes? Are you starting to understand what your dream client is and why you need an AENC system and how we can help you get those leads? Does that make sense? All right. Like I said, just getting leads isn't going to get you results. You actually have to get them to send you the money, which is why in part number 3, we're going to talk about conversions, how to take a lead from ice cold to $100,000 investor in 6 days or less using the BTS method. Now, I know a lot of you are looking to get your website. Some of you already have a website and it's just not giving you results. Either way, if you have put in work like this, whenever you get a lead, it's usually so exciting. You're like, oh my gosh, maybe you tell your spouse, you're like, look at this new person wants to learn so much about me. Maybe maybe already have an email drip campaign that's set up, but it's just not getting results. And what happens? They come in, they want to learn more about you, and then you sit like this for several days, and then you just never hear from them again. Right? If this is happening, this is not your fault. And the reason why is because it's what goes on behind the scenes, BTS, behind the scenes, that makes all the difference when it comes to converting leads to investors, meaning that you can't see this from the outside looking in. But I gotta be real with you, right? You booked a call with my team. There's some level of trust here. I gotta just keep it a buck with you. It doesn't matter how many people you can attract to your platform if you can't convert them to investors. Because if you can't convert them to investors, you're not going to be able to help them. And by the way, you're not going to be able to grow your portfolio. Now, whatever that means for you, whether it's more freedom, whether it's more time with your family, whether it's more vacations, the money must leave their account and go to yours in order for you to close bigger and better deals. So in order to do this, in order to truly scale, you have to know exactly what to send new leads, when to send it, and when to prompt them to move forward, all while avoiding them smashing the unsubscribe button. So when I say internally that our goal is to get new leads from ice cold to $100,000 investor in 6 days or less, this is the ultimate way to be able to scale from raising millions to tens of millions of dollars. Now, to do this, we have to get these ice cold leads hotter and hotter into the exact moment they're most eager and excited to invest. And then boom, the opportunity is presented and they move forward instantly. Now, the problem, though, is that most people are doing something like this, okay? Someone comes into their platform, someone comes into their world, they opt in, maybe you have a lead magnet already, they download your report, you send them an email that says, hey, here's your download. And then what's the follow-up that happens from there? If you have a follow-up at all, usually it's, hey, schedule a call with me. And then they don't. And so you send a follow-up that says, hey, schedule a call with me. And then they don't. And you realize you're in this infinite loop where they're never going to schedule a call. So you just keep going, hey, be my friend, schedule a call, schedule a call. If you've seen this before, don't worry. This is what all of our clients' follow-up sequences look like prior to working with us. But when they work with us, we completely retool that and give them, again, this BTS method. So when someone downloads something from us and they opt in, they want to learn more about working with us, here's what it looks like, right? They'll get a resource. Then very quickly after that, they're going to get a follow-up resource, which is related to the first resource. Then they're going to get a case study. Then they're going to get an opportunity to invest. Then maybe some scarcity around that opportunity. Then we'll create a webinar for them to actually move forward. And boom, at the end of the webinar, there's a button right there, click to invest. And if they don't invest at that point, we will drop them into an automated re-engagement strategy, which lasts how long? Forever. Constantly. New opt-in, email number 1, email number 2, case study, resource, opportunity, scarcity, forever. And this is what we've done to raise tens of millions of dollars from people that have opted in and then constantly bouncing in and out. You're trying to capture that as much as possible, my friends. This is how you do it. This is how she went from struggling to raise $400,000 to raising $4 million. This is how Param, who had a W-2 job, raised $2 million in 10 days and then quit his 6-figure job. This is how Mark raised $16 million in 24 hours. This is how Sam raised $50 million. Everything you're looking at right now, this is since being a member, since working with us. So if you don't know how to grow a big email list or get people to read your emails or find time to do all of this, and you want to feel like you're spammy or anything like this, we have gone through the pain of all the work to figure this out on our own, and we're here to give it to you. So we're going to give you email templates. We're going to give you PowerPoint templates, webinar templates, phone scripts, follow-up strategies, lead magnet templates, all of the things that we've used to raise hundreds of millions of dollars across all of our members. And by the way, this is not just for beginners, right? Brian Spear is a client of ours. He is a principal of a $25 million fund. He says, we are by no means beginners, but we implemented just a few tips Hunter suggested and instantly saw results. In fact, we recently sent out one email from one of Hunter's templates and received an additional $1.87 million in commitments in 24 hours. Let me say that again. They had raised $23 million of their $25 million fund. They thought they had exhausted their list. I said, here's one other email. Here's the subject line. Here's the content. Go ahead and let it rip. And they raised an extra $1.87 million in 24 hours from a list that they thought they had fully exhausted. Are you guys starting to understand that, right? That is the ANC method mixed with how to actually attract leads and then how to convert them. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting here. This is way too much information. I know I tend to talk quickly, but let me just summarize it really quickly, right? We started out with the framework, how to install our investor attraction system into your business now. Then we talked about how to not just rely on the framework, but to get leads, how to attract endless $100,000 investors who are eager to give you their money. Then we talked about conversions, how to raise millions of dollars without one-on-one lunches, meetings, or phone calls. Know that you think like an investor, right? Everything should be viewed on a risk-adjusted basis. But think about this. Think about the upfront investment versus the upside potential of being able to truly turn on the faucet of other people's money. All you need to do is be an average client of ours, and it's a total no-brainer. And when you say, like, what's the upside? Like, what's actually happening in our Slack channel? Look, Sandy, a $6.3 million raise. She personally raised 2.5. David, 48 hours, 60% subscribed. Ray raised $12 million in February. Tom raised $2.5 million. This person raised $1 million. This person raised $5 million. This person raised $25 million. These are all since being a member, but this is all irrelevant. It is not about them. It is about you. What would this do for your business? To be able to raise 6, 7, 8 figures each time you put out a deal. It can take your life to the next level, and we know it. We've seen it happen over and over again. Now, I know some of you are watching this and you're like, I don't have a deal. I don't need this. Holy crap. It is so important to know this lesson of capital raising, which is the worst time to raise money is when you need the money. That's when you're most needy. Investors can pick up on that. On the other side of the spectrum, it's also true. The best time to raise money is when you don't need the money. So what all of these success stories that we've created, it's our members going capacity, 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 oversubscribe, send the deal out, get it filled up, and then capacity, 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 oversubscribe. But if you don't have a deal, we've got members who want to partner with you right now. That's what the Slack channel is all about. So go ahead, move forward on the call. We're going to get you in Slack and set up, and we're going to get you into your first deal as quickly as possible. Again, we're all adults here. We don't promise you that someone's going to partnership with you, but there's constantly deals being done just like this. Now, a lot of you have seen from our success stories that we have many of our clients that either have a W-2 or had a W-2 and then quit their W-2 after having success with us. So if you're seeing this right now and you're like, I wish I could do this, but I have a very demanding W-2. Let me just ask you, okay? Do you have 2 to 3 hours per week, right? And is it a priority for you? Because if you don't have 2 to 3 hours per week to execute your W-2 exit plan, I got to be real, you do not have an exit plan. But if you've got that 2 to 3 hours per week and you're willing to put in that work, we are confident that you will be able to get results. Now, of course, there's a lot of people watching this right now that feel like they're not ready to put themselves out there in the public. They have that imposter syndrome. They have that guilt. Like, I'm not ready. I'm not advanced yet, so I can't use this and this doesn't apply to me. No. Many of our members have gone from first-time capital raiser to 7-figure and multiple 7-figure capital raiser by implementing this stuff, by getting out of your own head. That's why having a community of people going through the same thing is so important, because without them, you feel lonely. You feel like you're talking out of turn. This, my friends, are our best clients. people that need to rise to the occasion to overcome that, because you're the ones that are good at underwriting. You're the ones that are good at asset management. And other people that don't have those limiting beliefs aren't detail oriented. They don't deserve the responsibility of other people's money, but you do. Now, you probably know a bit about me. And if you know anything about me, you know that I think money loves speed. So get ready for your call and get ready to be part of this amazing community. Make sure to double check your calendar. Please don't waste my team's time. I don't want them to waste your time at all. If you do have a spouse or a business partner or anyone that's needed to make a decision, make sure to bring them. Good luck on your call, and I will see you at the next Raise Masters meeting.